So we're going to see on usage of functions. So how do we write a class? Class ABC. Then we will have a flower brace, and then all the class should have a main function. Okay, so only if you have a main function, then only we can execute the program. Okay, so how do we write a function here? So simple. Okay, so always a function will have a return type. Okay, always a function will have a return type. Okay, so what are the different return types? Means we have void or integer, double, string, all the data types will come. Okay, string, and then we have boolean, we have short, anything we can give. So void method, what the name of the method, then in flower braces we will give. This is how a method will be written. So I told you return types, right? So this is void. Instead of void, I can give integer or double, anything I can give. Clear? So right now I'll make this void here. So this is how a method will be written. So if I have so method 1, it's going to print. Okay. So how to call this method? It's so simple. Guys, if you want to increase the font size, let me know so that I can increase. If you're okay with font size, it's okay. In case if you want to increase it, let me know. If I want to call the method, so for example, CISO program starts. Then again, I can have here I can just give. So what type of method it is? If I have a static keyword, it is a static method. If I don't have any keyword here, it's a non-static method. Static keywords can be referred with the help of class name. If it is a non-static method, what I need to do? I need to create an object. So how to create an object for this class? So I need to give ABC obj1 equal to new ABC. That's it. So this will help me to create an object. Then next, if I want to call this method, I need to. So what will happen when I create an object? All the global members of this class, it might be static or non-static, all will be loaded into this object. So now what are the things will be loaded? My main function and then my non-static method. Both will be loaded into the object. Then obj1 dot method 1. Now what will happen right now when I give obj1 dot method 1, this will go and call me this method. Okay, so now it comes here and then executes me method 1, and then after that comes out of this function. Then again control comes here. Then again if I'm going to print CISO program ends. This is how. So I will write. So when I execute this program, what will be my output? So first my main function start to execute. First program starts. Then after that I create an object. So all the global members will be loaded. Then after that obj1 dot method 1. It goes and call me this method 1. Then executes the method 1. It's going to print me method 1 there. Then after that again control comes back to the place wherever the call has happened. Then finally program ends. So why we need functions here means it is for very useful for organization purpose. Okay, organizing the structure of the code, it's useful because right now I have around n number of lines here. Okay, so which will be repeated for n number of times in my program. So those things, if you have it under a method, okay, if you have it under a method, whenever the need of the code happens, that time I can call the method instead of writing it a number of times. So this will be very easy for us to understand also, and then its performance level also is so good. So that's why always we used to have the methods and then use it. And it's one more thing actually, what in real-time world how we use means, so our Selenium level, every test case level, what we do means actually what we will have it separately as a method. So log into the application, we will have it as a method. So then creating a customer there, actually what clicking on that specific, actually what that is filling the form information, what is the customer name, and then what is his informations, all those things will have a method. So whenever we are running, I will call the login method, then after that I'll call the create customer, that is actually what, then filling the form method. So what will happen when you see the outer program here? So this will be calling the methods login to application, then creating customer, fill the form, then update the customer. So it will be easy for me to understand the program. The real code will be written in the method level. So that's how organizing, okay, will happen here. Clear, guys? So now we'll see what are the different ways I can use it. Okay, that's what we are going to see now. Functions, return type. I'll just explain. So what are these functions return type means? So I told you, always when we write a method, all the methods should have return type, correct? So how we write a return type? Void method 1. Then after that, I need to give method 1, correct? So if I want to execute this, so as usual, how we have written, I'll write it. Program starts. Then again I have program ends. So when I run the program, if this, you can see only the main function will be executed. If I want to call the, if I want to execute the method, I need to call it. So for that, I need to create an object. Why? Because it's a non-static method. So I need to create an object. Functions return type obj1 is equal to new functions return type. Then I need to give obj1 dot method 1. Can you see? The return type is void, it's saying here. Clear? That's it. Right click, run as Java application. So method 1. I'm saying void is a return type, but what it's returning, it cannot return any value. Void means it cannot return any value. I will have another method, void method 2. So method 2. Okay, so this method void is there, right? So first we'll call this, we'll see what will be the output. Method 2. When I execute it, see, method 2 is printed, but I'm not returning anything. Instead of void, if I make it as integer or anything, so usually any method should have a return statement, okay, like this. Void means the only thing is it cannot return any value. That's the one thing. So that's why it is not mandatory. If it is void, I need to use return statement. Okay. Apart from void, I can use the return statement here. So for example, instead of void, if it is integer, that means it's throwing me an error. That means what? Change the return type to void. Otherwise, actually what? Change return statement. That means I need to pass an integer value. Okay. In case if it is string, see, change the return type to integer. Otherwise, change it to a string value. If it is double, I need to pass a double value. If it is Boolean, I need to pass a Boolean value. That's it. Clear? Everyone is clear? Okay. How we are returning apart from void? Okay. Any of the data type, return type, if we use, we need to use a return statement. It is mandatory. If you are not using return statement, it will throw me an error here. Add return statement. Like this, we have to use it. Clear? If void, we can use return. Yes, Jagdish. So we can use return. Okay. Otherwise, actually, what we can use actually what? Sorry. We can use a return statement, but we cannot return a value. Otherwise, it's not mandatory for me to use. Okay. Void alone, it is not mandatory to use the return statement. Yes. Clear? So now next, how to call this method? Okay, so we know how to call this method 1 and then method 2, but I'm returning a value. Then how to capture that is so simple. Right click, run as Java application. Method 2 is printing. See, right now, obj1 dot method 1 and method 2 is coming. See, method 1, it's showing that actually what the return type is void. So that means we know that actually what is not going to return any value. Boolean, it's going to return some value. So Java itself, JVM, okay, that itself will give me information that actually what is the return type. Okay, so it's showing me that actually what it's a Boolean. So that means I can capture that information in a Boolean variable. Boolean J. Okay, that's what I can use here. Boolean A I can use. So now what will happen right now for me? It's will capture that information here. Where in the A variable. What is the value? False. Okay, that will come. Then if I want to print it, scissor A, that will print me the value. Right click, run as Java application. False. Clear? Any questions so far for anyone?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes, Deepa.
Yeah, while defining the method, we no need to use the public keyword.
It's like actually it's not mandatory. If you're not using the public keyword, it's a default method.
Okay.
Clear? Same thing outside. If I have a variable called integer x is equal to 10, so this is a default global variable. Okay. If I make it as public, it's a public global variable. I can also make it as private. There are different keywords that we can use over here, or protected. Okay. There are 4 different ways I can define that variable information. Clear?
Oh, yeah. And once we create an object, we can call how much ever methods we want.
Yes, correct. Because once we create an object, what will happen? All the global members will be loaded into the object. Okay, so I can access any of the method or a variable n number of times. Whenever it's needed, I can call that.
Yeah. Okay.
Understood it? Good. Is everyone understood what is a method and then how to write a method and then what is return type? Everyone understood? Any questions for anyone? Can I get a reply from everyone in the chat windows? Yes, if you have understood it. Because the next program, I'm going to ask you guys to actually write. To call return type, we assign to a variable, right? It's actually, I can, when I'm calling the method, if I have a return type, okay, when I'm writing itself, actually what it will be showing me what type of value is going to return. It's a Boolean or whatever it's there. So based on that, I can create a variable. Otherwise, I can also print the variable alone. It's simple like this. So for example, okay, I will show you that one. Okay. So now I want from your end someone to execute me. Hey, hi Nandini. Hey, hi Nandini, you're there? Um, hey, hi Satish.
Hi, Murli.
Yes, Satish. Now I want you to write a method name called method 3. I want you to create a method called method 3 and then the return type should be string. Then after that, you want to call the method and then also you have to capture that method return value in your main function. Understood? You
Okay.
have to create a method called method 3. The return type of that method should be a string.
Yeah.
Then I need you to call the method in the main function and capture the return value in a variable.
Okay. Yeah. Would you give me the control?
Yeah. Cool. I'll just give you. Can you request if you request? I can give. Otherwise,
Yeah.
no problem. You can also. Yeah. Cool. Hope so you would have got now. Awesome. The only thing is string that should be capital S, because string alone is a class here.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
String alone is a class which acts as a data type. That's why that string alone will be as a class name there.
Okay.
Print me method 3 here. Just give yes by yes or control space. Yes. Awesome. Super. Now I want you to call. Yeah. So control space, yes.
Yeah.
Can you execute the program? Yeah. Super. Correct. So right now, yeah. Good. Hey, thanks, Rish. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Sure.
So now, can you stop your share control? Yeah. Good. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
So now, hey, hi, Madhuri.
Hi, Satish.
Hey,
Sorry.
Madhuri.
Hi,
Okay,
Madhuri.
good. Hey, Madhuri. So now I want you to create a method called method 4. Okay. The return value should be actually what? A double. Okay. Then I want you to call the method and then print it. I don't want you to capture it in a variable. Just print actually. That is, call the method and then print the return value.
Okay.
Okay. You understood? So it's a little bit small. A small trick information is what I given. I don't want you to capture the variable in a variable the return value, but even though I want you to print the value of the return type.
Okay.
Understood? So
Yeah.
if you want, you can take the control also.
I don't know how to get it.
If you just go to the participants, right?
Okay.
There you will have an option for request for control will be there, because I cannot directly give the control to you.
Okay. When you move the mouse to the top, you can see view option, and click on that view option. If you click on that, request remote control.
Okay.
You're getting?
No, I'm not. View options. Okay. Yeah. Request remote control. Okay.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah. Now the control is with you. So it's a return type should be double. The method name is method 4. So double is actually what? A data type in Java. So that should be actually what? The small letter.
Okay.
Yes. Super. Before that, I just want you to print method 4 also.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I want you to call that method, but I don't want it to capture it in a variable, but I want you to print the return value. So what can be done? So if you normally want to print some information in Java, what we need to do?
This CISO command.
Yes, try it. Control space. Yeah. Here you call the method.
Okay.
How you need to call the method? Method 4. What type of method it is? It's a no.
OBJ1. No?
Yeah, it's a non-static method, so I can access through only objects.
Okay.
Yeah. Now can you run it? Yes.
Yes.
So what happened? Method 4 has been, that is actually it went and called the method 4. Then the return value is what? 20.30. That is what coming back to the place wherever it is present. So the place here. Okay. So then after that, actually what? It's printing me the value, the return value is 20.30. But here is printing only 3. Why? Because 0 does not have a value. That's why 20.3 has been printed. If it is 20.35, if you have given, that will be printed.
Okay.
Clear? Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Madhuri. So now you can get your control back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. So everyone understood, right? So it's like actually why I'm asking you guys to execute the program is for a reason, because when you execute, you will be very clear on it instead of I'm executing the program. Okay, so it might take a little bit time. That's why I told you my sessions are a little bit slower compared to the other trainers. Okay, but really it will be helpful. End of the session, everyone will feel that actually what you have understood the concept. It's not like actually what you have half understood and then half way have gone. Everyone should be understanding it clearly. That's why I'm trying to do in this way, even if it takes time. So now functions, arguments we are going to see. Okay, that is, it's also called as method overloading. What is the concept we are going to see now? So now I have a method called void method 1. This is method 1. So now I'll have another method called method 1 itself. Scissor method 1. So can you see now from my side, I cannot have a same method name, correct? Same thing actually what defines for the variable also. We cannot have the same variable because right now when I'm calling the method, it does not know whether I'm calling this first method or this second method, because both the method names are same. So, but using the method overloading concept, we can differ these methods. How? That means with the help of passing the arguments. So if I pass my arguments, based on that I can identify that. Okay, I can just refer this is a different, this is a different. How? So if I give information as integer a, okay, that means I'm differentiating these methods over here like this. Okay, so this method for this, I'm giving information actually accept integer argument when I'm calling method 1 accepting integer value. So now if I want to call this method, how I need to call this? So program starts, program ends. Here I'll create an object for this class. Function arguments obj1 is equal to new function arguments. That's it. So if I want to call this method, what I need to do? obj1 dot, then method 1. Can you see the return type is void? It does not accept any argument here. Same, there is another method, return type is void, but the argument actually what is accepting is an integer. Okay, so first I'll call this first method. If I want to call the second method, obj1 dot method 1, here it's saying clearly it's accepting integer argument. That means I need to pass an integer value. Clear? Right click, run as Java application. Method 1, okay, first time it's going to call me. Okay, first program starts creating an object. So it loads main function, method 1 and method 1 of integer a. Okay, all the global variables are loaded. Then after that, I'm calling the first method obj1 dot method 1, which does not have any argument. It goes and call me this, then prints me method 1. Then second time obj1 dot method 1 of 10, which is an integer value. Now it will go and call me this integer method. Method 1 accepting integer value. But I'm passing this 10, which I'm not using anywhere. If I want to use it, so simple, I'm giving plus a. So what is this? In concatenation I'm doing. So now when I right click, run as Java application, can you see? Method 1 accepting integer value, that is 10. So I can pass a value to my method from the function. Clear? Understood? This concept is called as method overloading. That means same method name, okay, accepting different value. That is same method acting as a different. Okay, so based on actually what your different types of arguments. That's the main thing. Clear? Everyone understood? So now I want, hope so it's easy concept. Hey, hi Ramya. Just unmute you. Hey Ramya. Hi. Hello. Hey Ramya. Now can you help me? I want you to write a method called method 1. Okay. So the return type should be actually what? Double. The return type should be Boolean.
Okay.
Okay, the return type is Boolean. Okay, so I'll just write what you have to do. Method name is method 1. Okay, then return type is Boolean. Then argument to accept is string. Okay, then you have to call the method and then capture the return value in a variable and then print in the main function as we did before. Clear, right?
Okay.
Okay, you can get the control of my system and then you can do it.
One.
Yes. So go to the view options as Satish just told you, right? So you can go to your view options at the top and then request for remote control.
I'm trying to figure it out. One
Yeah,
second. I requested for
yeah, I got it. Cool. Yeah, yes. No, return type is what? What is the argument to be accepted? What is the return type here in this method? Yeah. So right now what we have the return type as?
Right now we have integer.
No, that is the argument to accept.
Okay.
Return type is void here.
Void. Oh, okay, okay.
So that should be actually what I'm saying. Return type should be Boolean. So B should be small.
Small letter.
Only for string it should be a capital letter. Then argument to accept should be string. So yes should be capital. Yeah, you can give any variable name, string yes or a or anything. Then open flower base and close. So right now, can you just move that flower base to the top? Yeah, and nothing. Yeah, nothing actually. No issues. The only thing is it's like the lining of information will be less. That's why.
These are control space.
Yeah. Give double quotes. Just give method one accepting string value, because the argument which we are accepting is a string. Then I want to print that value also. Yes. So one more thing actually, what can you just give a space over there after the method one accepting string value, space, then yeah, space, yeah, then press yes. Good. So now why still is throwing an error in the line number 20?
920.
Can you mouse over? Yes. So what's the can you mouse over again? Yeah. What's the issue?
The method must return a type of result of type boolean.
Yeah, this method must return a result of type boolean. We have to add a return statement. Otherwise, you have to change it to void. But I need it should be a boolean return type. So what you need to do? Yes, super. Return. What are the values that boolean can accept? So it should be without braces. Just normally return space. Yeah. Then give boolean. What are the types of information it accepts?
String.
False and true. Okay, you can pass only true or false. Yeah, then give a semicolon. Good. Now you've written the method. Now I want you to call the method. So go to number 9. Yeah, enter. Yes. Yes. So we have to pass a string value. So how to pass a string value? Yes, any information that comes under a double quotes will be treated as a string. That's it. Awesome. Yes.
Is it okay?
Yes. Super. Can you execute it? We'll see.
Okay.
Yes. So program starts. So first, can you execute the program also for me? So how the execution will happen? Hey, good. Yeah. Thanks, Rami. I'll ask with someone else. So, good. Awesome. Can you take the control back?
Yeah. Once.
Yeah. Super. Thank you. So, hey, hi, Shailendra. Hello. Just a second. I'm trying to unmute you.
Hello, Murli.
Hey, Shainal. Yeah. Can you execute me the program? So I want you to execute this program. So
Right.
what will happen? Always first
Yeah.
main function starts to execute, correct? Yeah.
Yes.
So first what statement will be executed for me?
Program starts.
Yes, correct. Then what I'm doing here? Okay, no worries.
Calling method.
Okay, no worries. You just go through that yesterday's concepts and all those things so that you will be clear. Okay, just try it.
Sure.
So it will be easy concepts only. Okay, no worries. So I'll just check with others. So tomorrow you can just try. Hey, hi Shravanti, you there?
Hi,
Hey, hi Shravanti. Can you help me to execute this program?
okay. First, it will print program starts. Execution starts with main method,
Yes, super.
and then after that we have created an object.
Awesome. What is the name of the
Okay,
object?
obj1.
Yes.
After that, it is calling method 1,
Okay.
wherein we have it's a void method and it is printing method 1.
Super. So that is,
After that,
we're calling a method which does not have an argument. So this method
yes,
will be called. Okay. Yeah.
yes. And after that, there's another method which it is calling method 1, and the arguments are argument type is int.
Super. Yes. Then
Yeah.
what will be
And
the value of A here?
the value of a will be 10.
Super. Yes, correct.
Then it is printing that whatever value, whatever present in the sysout,
Yes.
including 10.
Yes, correct. Then
And then the other method is boolean.
yeah.
Yeah, the argument type is string, and string value is hello. So it's printing the sysout, including the string value.
Yeah. So obj1 dot method 1 hello I'm just using. So that means I'm calling the method 1 which accepts a string value. So there are 3 methods which does not have an argument, an integer argument, and then a string argument accepts. So as usual, I'm passing a string value, it will accept, go to the string. Then prints me method 1 accepting string value. Then I'm trying to print what is the yes. So what is the value of yes? That will be hello. Then
hello
returns me true. So
yes.
now can you tell me, I just want to capture the return value. I'm getting true, right? I want to capture it in a variable and then I want to print it. Can you tell me?
Yeah. C equals to object 1 dot.
So it's throwing me an error.
See,
Why?
Boolean C equals to.
Superb, yes. Because we have to first declare it, then only the initialization.
Yeah.
So the Boolean C, this is declaration. This is the initialization. That means it's going to call the method and finally it's going to get me a value here. That is true here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it will be like this. Finally, it will come like this. The value will be true here. The return value. Yes. Then
Okay.
I want to print it means
Sysout dot
C.
println of C.
Yes. That's it. Right click, run as the application. Hey, good. Hey, thanks, Shabdi. Awesome.
Thank you.
Guys, hope so everyone would have understood this actually. What is return type, and then what is the usage of the function, that is actually what method overloading, accepting an argument. Everyone is clear, right? So one more thing, I cannot have another method with the same name, method 1. See, void method 1 integer b. This is not accepted. Why? Can you tell me? Why it's throwing me an error? Anyone can tell me?
Same data type.
Sorry?
No. Same data type.
Yes.
Same argument.
Correct. I'm accepting same arguments right now. obj1 dot method 1 of 10 I'm passing right now. So now it does not know whether I need to call this method, other I will need to call this method. Understood? It does not know whether to call which integer method. So that's why it should be different always. Okay. If I want to call this method, so method 1 accepting double value plus b. So this can be any variable name, a, b, c, x, anything I can give. Okay. Always it should be different. So how it is used in real time? So when you come to Selenium level, okay, so what will happen? I will have my method name here. So right now I'm going to do an action in with my application. So when I'm doing my action, so for example, I'm going to creating a task. Then while creation of a task, I will actually pass different values over there. So when I'm going to pass actually and for example, I want to create a task over there. When I pass a string value, it accepts the string value information. Then after that, based on that, it goes and then call one method. Integer value if I pass, it will call a method and then does this execution. If I pass a string value, based on that, it does an action over there. So like that, every method level, based on the argument level, I will defer the action as what to be done. Based on that, it goes and calls me. Another thing, I can also pass multiple arguments also. So that is void method 1 integer a comma integer b. This is method 1 plus a plus space plus b. Okay, same thing can have another method 1 integer comma double. That means method overloading is what means. So the methods will be differed based on the number of arguments, other the type of arguments. Okay, based on the number of arguments or based on the type of arguments, it will be differed. That's a one thing. Clear for everyone? Any questions for anyone? So this is the basics. Tomorrow we will execute the same information actually with some different set of programs, and then we'll see how memory allocations have been happened. Okay, yesterday we saw some information of memory allocation, right? Same concept we will do. So I'm going to give you some assignments related to the functions. So right now you all understood actually what is a function and then how to write it. So last time I gave you some assignment here. Okay, so this one, write a static method which is of void return type, and then one non-static method which is of void return type, one static method which is of integer return type, one non-static method which is of double return type. Call those methods from main function and capture the return value. So same thing, one more thing, information. Okay, so these two programs you have to do. Okay, so try to do this assignment. Hopefully for sure you will be able to do this. Okay, try to do the assignments the day when I give, because things will be easier right now, because that's why I'm asking you to execute the programs on. Okay, try to do it so much you will be more comfortable, and during my sessions going on itself, you all will be very much clear on what topics we have covered each and every day, so that end of the after 1 week or something when you look on it, so you might not feel what is this different topic like that. Okay, that's why try to do on the same day. Okay, any questions for anyone for today's session? Anyone has any questions? Okay, guys. So thank you. So tomorrow we'll meet by same time. Thank you.